is often referred to as mother of all battles, and boy, did it live up to that reputation. India versus Pakistan, the first encounter for both these teams at an important stage like the T20 World Cup at the iconic Melbourne Cricket Ground, which is right across us. And what a game did we have. Sunny Bhai is with me. Harbhajan Singh will be joining us. We'll get you all the fan reactions. What was that special inning by Virat Kohli? All of that coming up in the next half an hour or so. But I'll start with Sunny Gavaskar. Sunny Bhai, is this the right word to use for this game? Paisa Vasool?
Absolutely. Because anything that finishes off the last ball of the 40th over means that the match has gone down to the wire. And which means that the spectators and those who are watching on television have certainly got every paisa vasool.
Has Diwali come a day earlier?
Well, some of the firecrackers that we saw on the ground from Virat Kohli's bat and Hardik Pandya's bat certainly meant that the Diwali has come a day earlier.
All right. We also saw a lot of Diwali celebrations right outside the ground because that's how much the fans enjoyed this particular encounter. And the reason I use that word Paisa Vasool because, everyone who came here, there were people who traveled from India, from Canada, from everywhere across the world. And everyone said that they got their money's worth. What really stood out also is that the rain gods answered. All of that talk of, no cricket, maybe it'll rain. None of that has happened. But I'd like to inform you that at the time that we're coming to you live from Melbourne, it's night and it started to drizzle just after the game got over. So, as I said, everyone, including the rain gods, wanted this particular encounter to happen. We'll hear from Harbhajan Singh also a little later in the program. But for the moment, first let's take a look at the star of the show. And that, of course, was Virat Kohli with his 82. And that is what helped India win from a very unlikely situation. He was also adjudged the man of the match. Harbhajan Singh also joins us on the program. Harbhajan, 41 or 31 for 4, I beg your pardon, at stage, when India was struggling. That's when Hardik Pandya, Virat Kohli came together. Tell me honestly, hand on your heart, did you believe India could win it from there?
Yeah, I certainly believe that Hardik Pandya is there, Virat Kohli is there, and this pitch is playing as well as we have seen. It's a good kind of a pitch to bat on, and I certainly had that belief till the time these two guys are batting. The game was on. Knowing Hardik Pandya have the capacity of hitting those sixes and scoring those quick runs. And Virat Kohli is Virat Kohli, a chase master. Obviously, no, for obviously he didn't score too many runs, in last year or so. But Virat Kohli is Virat Kohli. Look at his record. It speaks for himself. And
Yeah.
it was a great, great win. And I certainly had that belief that we are going to win the game.
Okay. Harbhajan there was mentioning that, Virat is a chase master. Yes, there was that year or so where he wasn't scoring runs, but came good.
He wasn't scoring centuries. He was scoring runs.
Yeah.
So I think that's a difference. Because of the lofty standards that he set, where he's scoring hundreds. When he doesn't score 100, then people say he's not scoring runs. No, that's wrong. He wasn't getting centuries. He was getting 60s, 70s, 80s. And yes, I think the odd failure here and there, which every batsman goes through. The point is, just like when you talk about a Federer, Djokovic, Nadal, when they lose in the semi-finals, people think they haven't done well because
Yes.
they've got those standards of winning every time. Tiger Woods, when he was in his pomp, if he finished second or third, they thought, oh, Tiger hasn't done well. It's the same thing when, great players keep that standard and suddenly, they haven't got that. People start saying the same thing. Anybody else would be happy to get the 70s, 80s, 90s, just like anybody else would be happy to get to the semi-finals. But these are the standards that great players set, and that's why we think that they are not at their best when they haven't actually failed.
Okay, I'm going to extend that question. You rightly point out that maybe those are the standards that Virat Kohli had said, and sometimes it's difficult to live up to those. Would it be fair to say now? I'm not just looking at this particular innings. We saw in the Asia Cup, he had a good Asia Cup outing. Is he getting close to his best? That 2016, 2017, that peak. Is he getting there?
Yes, I think so. Because look, it was just a matter of him having a little bit of the run of the luck as well. Today he didn't need that. But there are times, when you start and when the ball is moving around, you play and miss, you're wrapped on the pads. That is sometimes the luck that you need because otherwise, you might edge the ball and get caught out, which was what was happening to him when he was not getting those hundreds. But now that he's middling everything, his footwork is so much more certain. He's not reaching for deliveries. He doesn't look desperate that he has to score the runs, because in that desperation to score the runs he was getting out as well. So
Yes.
now he's playing each ball on its merits. And when a batsman starts to play each ball on its merits, it's got to be a special delivery to get him out.
Okay, it had to be a special delivery. Unfortunately for Pakistan, that special delivery didn't come. He was not out till the end, and that actually helped India win the game. Bhajupa, just Virat Kohli, sometime it's the opposition as well. I know there's no other team on this planet. I know every other team like Australia respect Virat Kohli, but the love that he gets from Pakistan is special. Clearly, because he's done well against that opposition, that's why he gets their respect as well. I know for you, Australia, that one opposition, you tended to be at your best when you were playing against them. Sometimes doesn't opposition also fire you up? And in Virat's case, it is Pakistan.
Yeah, I think in Virat case, not just Pakistan, even Australia, he has scored a lot of runs against these two teams. And especially in Australia, his record is unbelievable. Every time he goes to Australia, he does something special. And I hope he continue with this form, where he started today and finished the game today. And I hope he continue with this form going forward in this tournament. And make a memorable one for all of us by lifting the cup. Yes, he's got a great record against Pakistan, but that's done and dusted now. We need to, yes, celebrate this victory, but at the same time, we need to move forward. How we have to cope up with the other challenges. There might be other teams, in T20 format, any team can beat anyone. So I'm sure Team India will be looking forward in the next game, what they need to do better than what they have done in this game. Obviously, the batting partnership up front, needs to be something solid start. India should get in the next game. So yeah, coming to Virat Kohli, he was brilliant as ever.
Okay, one thing that Harbhajan is pointing out, that maybe also an opportunity. Yes, Virat did well. Opportunity for India to look at what are the things that they need to correct. One of that is the top order. For example, a low scoring total. Everyone, all of us in the mid innings were discussing that. Listen, this sort of a total, if you go 5-6 overs without losing any wickets, no matter even if you get less runs, you're going to win it. That's not happening for India. Is that something that you need to really look at now?
Yes, I think against a strong bowling attack, you might want to think in terms of including an extra batsman. And particularly now, after the first match, after the way Hardik Pandya has bowled. So he can now be a fifth bowler. So far, you were thinking of him as a sixth bowler. In case one of the bowlers didn't do well, then he could come in and bowl 2 or 3 overs. But look, he took wickets, he bowled really well, and then he batted brilliantly. So now once you've got the confidence of having Hardik Pandya as one of your regular bowlers, then you can think in terms of strengthening your batting as well, increasing that depth so you have a proper batsman at 6 and maybe Dinesh Karthik at 7.
Oh, that's very interesting. Bhajuba, I'd like to know your thoughts as well. Saiba is saying maybe because Hardik is now consistently bowling those 4 overs, get an extra batsman in. That was a school of thought that was advocated before this game. Maybe get someone like a Deepak Hooda in, proper batsman, also gives you a few overs in case someone goes for a few runs. Is that something that the Indian team can think from here, or you think, no, this is the right combination?
Well, I have a different view to this. I think five bowlers definitely you need to have in your side, and two spinners. They were not as good as we expected them to be, but going forward, I'm sure they're going to come in handy. And you need to play two spinners and three seamers. And yes, Hardik is bowling really well. Sunny sir is saying the right thing. But if I was part of the management, I would have stick to the same sort of combination. If seven batters can't do much, then the eighth one will not do even better than what we have got. So I think this is the right sort of combination. I might be wrong, so I just have a different opinion than Sunny sir.
Oh, that's what we love cricket for. That's why we love different opinions. So Bhajupa there says that no, he would still want to go with five bowlers, but as Sunnyji was pointing out,
I'm saying against a good opposition bowling attack.
right?
I think against a good opposition bowling attack, like say maybe South Africa, you might want to consider it. I'm not saying you should go. You might want to consider it.
Yeah, maybe, as he says, against different opposition, going with different strategies. Something that Rohit Sharma also mentioned, at the start of this tournament, he said that we've taken a look at. Sorry, go ahead.
Uh, Sir, I would like to add, we since we are playing South Africa in Perth, and there will be a chance, to bring in
Hmm,
another seamer instead of one spinner, extra spinner we are playing. So in that case, maybe in Perth,
hmm,
what you're saying is having another batsman will do a good job for Team India. I think in Perth, Team India need to look for that sort of a combination
hmm,
where you know having Hardik Pandya as a fourth seamer and bowling one spinner only. I think that will be the
hmm,
right sort of combination there.
hmm. Yeah, so Harbhajan agrees. He says in Perth as well, because you're playing in Perth and maybe Hardik is doing the job there, you could go in with one spinner, and so that could be the combination, and then a batsman
And a
comes.
Deepak Huda also,
Yeah.
somebody who can bowl a couple of overs. So
Yes.
if you need, you still have a sixth bowler, or I would say you have, at that stage, if you include Deepak Huda, you've still got 5.5 bowlers.
5.5 bowlers should be good enough. Some teams make do with just five. That's all you need to win a particular match. For example, Pakistan went 10 with 5. That's another matter that they ended up on the losing side. But it was a clear game. It went down right to the wire. Okay, I caught up with a lot of fans outside the MCG. Let me tell you, the attendance was 90,000 plus people, all packed in inside the Big G. And guess what? The home team wasn't playing. It was a neutral venue, and you had a packed house. That's what you get when it is India-Pakistan encounters. I caught up with a few Indian fans as well as Pakistani fans, and this is what they had to say.
आज थी छोड़ी क्योंकि पांड्या और कोहली
Okay.
one of the best in the world.
Yes.
They are super vet.
Yes.
They are always India legend. जान है हमारी
Shan hai.
हमारी किंग कोहली.
Were you nervous at any time? Cutting your fingernails.
Definitely nervous. But no, they got it done. I'm happy.
Yeah, you're happy.
Yeah.
So
I
see,
had a minor heart attack.
that is being honest. The
Yeah.
first one. Huh?
Yeah, my
Even though
heart rate
Kohli was
200,
there.
200 per minute.
You were checking.
Yeah,
Your
of
fit
course. I'm a doctor.
How long the party is going to continue?
Oh, all night, of course. All night. Until 6th of November, when we beat Zimbabwe again.
अच्छा विराट विराट कोहली की बैटिंग के बारे में बताओ.
भाई बहुत मारा मारते मारते ना मार ही डाला.
So tell me, who's the biggest Virat fan amongst
This
you?
guy.
Us. Okay. I mean, you know what I want to know from you guys? He was outstanding today, and clearly looking at your dresses, you are Virat fans. Do you, as fans, feel that you're vindicated because he went through a bad phase? The fans stood by him, and he's now come good.
Of course, we were with him. Absolutely, with Kohli till the end. Always back my man up. He's king for a reason. He's King Kohli. We're with him all the time. Teams are always believed in him. Always believed in him.
What happens to Kohli when he plays Pakistan? Huh? There's something.
Always king.
He's always king.
He got support from Pakistan. He got support from India. So his support. You have no idea how much adrenaline is in my body right now.
Right, you heard from the Indian fans saying that Diwali has come early for them, a day early. A lot of Pakistani fans also talking to me. They said that yes, Pakistan may have lost, but they thoroughly enjoyed Virat Kohli's innings. And for them also, it was a great outing. At the end of the day, everyone wanted a close contest, and you got a close contest. Sunny Gavaskar, Harbhajan Singh, still with us. Sunny, Hardik Pandya's inning. How do you see it? Because at one point, it did look like that he was, failing to get the run rate going, that acceleration going. But at the end of the day, does that filter over that inability to get the runs going? Or do you think, no, at that moment, that is exactly what was required?
I think that was exactly what was required at that stage. India had lost 4 wickets. You needed a couple of overs, a few overs to steady things around, to get a feel of what the pitch was doing, to wait for the right kind of bowlers to attack. The spinners were the right kind of bowlers to attack because they would be bowling the line and the length where he could swing his bat. And that's exactly what happened. So his was a very mature, very calculated innings. He was waiting for the right ball. And I think that what he did was that running between the wickets between the two of them, Kohli and him, they were taking a second run where a lot of other teams a lot of other maybe Indian pairs would have not thought of a second run. Now, on these big grounds, that is crucial. When you're chasing to be able to convert ones into twos and twos into threes. India also took threes today, which you very seldom see in a T20 game in subcontinent conditions because the boundaries are so small. So that fitness level was so heartening to see. And I do believe that the way he started to bat, the way, those sixes that he hit of Mohammad Nawaz.
Yes.
Actually, I said it earlier on television as well, कि those sixes ने पाकिस्तानी bowling को नरम किया और नॉन स्ट्राइकर एंड पे विराट कोहली को गरम किया.
You rehearsed that line, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
It was impromptu.
No, it was impromptu when it came. Yeah, naram and garam. Yeah.
Okay, that's a brilliant one. He's getting the hang of Hindi commentary as well. As one point wouldn't do a lot of Hindi commentary. Now he's getting the hang of it. He's getting very good at it. But just continuing that discussion, Harbhajan, on Hardik Pandya. At the end of those, that game, 2 overs left. You needed 31 runs. I was taking a look at stats. It doesn't happen very often. Seldom does team get a chance to chase down because you need about 15 runs for 2 consecutive overs. That doesn't happen. But do you think maybe it wasn't miscalculation but great calculation because of the fact that they knew there's a spinner who will have to come and bowl the last over?
Yeah, I think they calculated well, and knowing Hardik Pandya, even in the drink breaks after 10 overs, they were talking, and Hardik was trying to, tell Rahul and also Virat, this is what is I'm going to do from next over onwards. And straight away he took the spinner on and he hit him for 2 sixes. That over actually changed the momentum towards the Indian batting. And of course, I think, he's been in that situation for many time in IPLs, and he have that confidence that, he can hit spinners for 3, 4 sixes in the over. And that, they gave themselves a better chance, by calculating well, and in the end, that worked for Team India. And Virat Kohli's those 2 special sixes hitting in 19th over, one straight six. I'm sure Sunny sir would also say that was probably one of the best shot I've seen in cricket. It was unbelievable shot, and that second one was the easiest shot that pick up one over fine leg. Those 2 sixes obviously took a lot of pressure off in the last over, but it was a great game of cricket, and in the end, India held their nerves better than the Pakistan, and great victory for Team India. And it's pre-Diwali for all of us, pre-Diwali celebration, and Team India gave us a lot of happiness.
Okay, we're running out of time, but I've got enough time to get one more question each from Sunny Gavaskar, Harbhajan Singh, and I wanted to talk about an unsung hero here. We're talking about the batting because we tend to speak more about what's just gotten over, but let's go back to India's bowling. Arshdeep Singh, he comes to my mind because same opposition, he was made into a villain because of that drop catch, comes back at a bigger stage against the same opposition, gets you 3 wickets, and 2 of those, the backbone of Pakistan team.
Yes, I think the first ball was a very well directed one. In swing coming for Babar Azam, always the possibility of playing across the line, which we talk about, say, Rohit Sharma. That Rohit Sharma with Shaheen Afridi ball coming in, he tends to play across the line, gets out LBW. Arshdeep did exactly that to Babar Azam. Then the way he set up Mohammad Rizwan, getting the ball to move across, and then bounced him. He'd been hit for a boundary. Then he came back with a typical fast bowler's bouncer and well directed here, which is difficult to control. And then again to Asif Ali, again a bouncer which completely surprised. That just shows that what kind of thought process he's using. And with every match, he's getting better as a bowler. And then a left-hander as well. I mean, a left-hand bowler, adds so much more variety to your attack and makes life difficult for the opposition. And that's what we saw. Very, very good. Very impressive. And, when he was, 2-3 years ago in the IPL, I used to always, when he would come for the presentation or the post-match thing, he has got this beautiful, wonderful smile.
Yes.
And I think he'll be smiling even more now.
Yeah, and he's a very shy guy. I've tried to speak to him, but he doesn't speak much. Very, very shy, but doesn't matter. He expresses himself when he really has to, and that is with the ball. Final word to you, Harbhajan, because I know that you have been a supporter. You came out in support of him when he was being criticized for that drop catch. Personally, for you, happy to see how he's bounced back, Arshdeep?
Of course, I told you all that he is a gold. Arsh is a gold, and yes, I'm very happy to see his progress. Every game he's getting better. And one thing about him which stands out, even in pressure situations, he's someone who takes the pressure on. Like he played almost 300, 400 games for India, and he's so good at it, and he never shows on his face that he's under any sort of pressure, and he have that belief that he can do it in the bigger games. And it's so heartening to see at such young age he's performing the way he is for India. It's a sign of a great champion going forward, and I'm so happy to see his progress. I want to wish him all the luck going forward, and I hope he continue to do what he's done today and take every game 3-4 wickets for Team India.
All right, I think Harbhajan Singh summed it up really best when he said that he's a youngster, Arshdeep Singh. The way he bowls, we tend to forget that he's a youngster because it seems like he's played about 200, 300 games for India. That's the maturity that he brings to the table. I'm afraid we're completely out of time. Harbhajan Singh, Sunny Gavaskar, thanks so much for joining us. What a great match we've had, and what that does is sets up the tournament very nicely.